Hey guys, so today's video is going to be episode 8 of my makeup declutter series, and we're going to declutter eye primers, face primers, and setting sprays. So if you want to see what I'm keeping and what I am giving away or throwing out, then just keep on watching. Okay, so all of these products together are a lot, but separated, these categories don't have very many products. Like for example, the setting sprays, there's only 7 of them. The primers, there's only 8 of them, and the rest are just like samples. And then the eye primers, there's only 7 of them as well. So this is why I decided to just put everything together. And even though it's a lot of them, we're going to go through them very, very quickly. So stick with me. Let's start with the eye primers over here. Let's start with my favorite one, which is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Well, the MAC Paint Pot itself, but I have the color Painterly. I love this so much. This is what I use every single time I do my makeup. This hides any like discoloration that you might have on your eyelids, and it also makes your makeup stay put all day. It doesn't crease, it doesn't move. You can wear your makeup for hours and it'll look the exact same by the end of the night. And yeah, I just love this so much. And this also lasts a while, so as long as you use it properly and often, it will not dry out. I've never had that problem, and I've had this for a few years now, so keeping this one. Then we have this eye primer here from the brand Essence. This is okay. I think I tried it a few times, but I just don't remember like being wowed by this or like loving it too much. So I think I'm just going to pass this one along. Like I said, I love my MAC Paint Pot, and I do use that pretty often, so I just don't need to keep very many of them. I think, in fact, I'm only keeping 2 or 3 if I'm completely honest. So I'm going to be giving this one away. Next, we have this primer here from Inglot. So I got this in hopes of finding something similar to the MAC one, because this one is actually like $7, I believe, or something really affordable, or more affordable than the MAC one. So I got this because of that. Someone said once that it was kind of similar, but I actually don't find that to be the case. This one is like not as pigmented. Like it has some color, but see, like it's just not that pigmented. Also, the texture of it is a little, I don't want to say silicone-y feeling, but it just doesn't feel like a paint pot, you know what I mean? And I just don't love it that much. I think, honestly, I don't know what to do, because it is a good one, but it's just not as good as the paint pot, so I'm not sure what to do with it. It's also a little bit too dry for me, and it's not because I haven't been using it. It's been like that since I first bought it, and I just haven't been wowed by this, so I think I'm going to pass this one along as well. Next, we have this primer here from Urban Decay. This is the very famous eyeshadow primer potion by UD. This is good. I mean, I'm not going to say it's bad. It is good, but again, just like nothing compares to my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This to me is just okay. I actually don't really get the hype with it. Like everyone seems to love this, but I just don't understand the hype about it. I've had multiples of this. I've had this one. I have the one in the shade Sin, and I've enjoyed them, but they're just not as good as I would want them to be. I think that if you are on the younger side and you have like no discoloration on your eyelids, and all you want is like a simple primer that's going to help your makeup stay put, then you would enjoy this. But at this point, you know, the way my life is set up right now, I really need that paint pot to cover like any darkness on my eyelids and all of that. And not that I have a lot of darkness, but it is there, so I just prefer that paint pot. So because of that, this is like brand new. I don't think I've ever really used it, so I'm going to be giving this one away because it is a good primer. So I know that someone else will really, really appreciate it, so giving this one away. Then we have this primer here from Lorac, and I did talk about this in my single shadows declutter, and this one is actually the second one that I have. I have this one in like my everyday makeup drawer, and then the other one I have it where those single shadows were, if you remember that video. But I do use this on my clients. It's a very simple primer. Honestly, not super wowed by this either. It is good. I keep comparing everything to the MAC one because that one is just that good to me. I know that some people think that the MAC one is a little drying, but I'm just not there yet. And maybe if I get older and I want something a little more simple, then I would prefer this. And if you're there, then maybe you would prefer this or the Urban Decay one as well. but I don't. But I am still keeping it because I like to use it on clients. It's a very universal eye primer, so because of that, I'll be keeping it. Then in here I have the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I got this one in hopes of finding a good drugstore eye primer, and it is good. A lot of people compare it to the Urban Decay one, and I kind of agree that it feels like that one. But again, since I just don't use the Urban Decay one, I just really don't reach for this one that much. So it is a really good dupe for the Urban Decay. So if you love that one and you're looking for a more affordable option, then this is a good one. But I don't need it. I just don't need that many primers. I really don't. You know what I mean? Like, primer is something that you don't even see. So you just need one that works really well for you. And that's it. And because of that, I don't really want to keep too many of them, so I'll be passing this one along as well. And lastly, for eye primers, I have this one from Pure, and this is an eye primer, but to me, I don't really use it like that. This is like a gel consistency type of thing. It's very cooling, it's super refreshing, and it feels so cool to the touch, and I love it because of that. So I really love applying this both on my lids and also on my under eye when I feel like it's looking a little puffy or something like that. And I just love the feeling of this. I don't even know if it does anything, but it feels so good, and I enjoy it so much. So definitely keeping this one. That was all the eye primers. So now we're moving on to the face primers. So as you can see, like I mentioned, I only have, I think, 7 or 8 actual like full-size primers, and the rest of them are just like samples. I guess this one kind of counts as like a travel size, those two, and then all of these are just samples. And I don't really purchase face primers that much because you get so many samples everywhere. For the sake of not making this video super long, I'm just going to separate them between ones that I like and ones that I don't. Okay, so for the samples, these are the ones that I don't really enjoy that much. This one is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, and I know that so many people love this so much, and I don't know that it's bad, or I just haven't really enjoyed it. It does feel really nice, but it's just not the type of primers that I enjoy. Like, it actually, I think all of these primers have all the same problem. This one too, and it is the fact that they feel kind of silicone-y. You know, if you've ever used this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So all of these feel the same way, and I think that's why I haven't really enjoyed any of them. This one is really smooth. I know that it is so expensive and super luxurious, but I just haven't really enjoyed it. I'm really sorry if I offend any of you that really love this, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that really enjoy this so much. But I'm just not one of those. There's a lot of other primers that I just like more than this. And yeah, I'll be disposing of this because of that. Also, since all of these are samples, I'm not going to like give any of these away. Like, if I'm not keeping them, I'll just throw them out because they are samples. This one is from that brand, the Estee Edit. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like 2 years ago, Estee Lauder tried to launch this brand, or they actually launched it. It wasn't 2 years ago, maybe it was longer than that. But they launched this Estee Edit brand in hopes of like reaching a younger generation, and I guess it just didn't work out for them because they canceled the brand and it just went away. But this little Treat, Prep and Glow primer, I just didn't enjoy. I just didn't think that it did anything. And yeah, it's actually not even a primer. It's like a morning and night instant glow product. I just didn't think that it did that much, and yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it. So disposing of this one too. Then we have this one here by Smashbox. This is their photo finish primer, but this one is the blemish control one, which contains salicylic acid for acne prone skin. Again, both of these, they just feel like, you know exactly what I mean, but I don't really like that feeling, like, at all. This one is pretty new actually, and I think I've only used it like once or twice, and it is a good size, so I'm going to be giving this one away. But this one I'm just throwing out. And then we have this Trust Fund Beauty Give Me Good Face primer. Again, same problem. It's just that type of like silicone feeling, and it even looks like that, and it's okay. They're not bad primers by any means. They're just not primers that I enjoy. I just don't like the feeling. They feel kind of oily to me. Like, I know they're not oily, but they just feel greasy to me, and I feel like it just makes my makeup slide off instead of making it stay in place, you know what I mean? So I just don't enjoy that, and because of that, I'm just disposing of this one too. Then these little primers here are primers that I have enjoyed very much. This one is actually completely empty, and the only reason why I have it is because I keep squeezing like little bits of it to come out, and I love this so much. This is a Dr. Brand Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer. And it fell. This will fill your pores in like nobody's business. If you have giant pores and you need them filled in, then this is exactly what you're looking for. I have nothing else to say about it. It is just excellent for that. Then we have here from Kors or Kores, however you say it, this pomegranate mattifying treatment. This is really good. Again, it's not really a primer. It's more of like a mattifying thing, but you do use it under makeup, so it's technically a primer. This does work. It mattifies your skin really well. It feels very nice and cool and hydrating on the skin, so I really like it because of that. These two from Makeup Forever, we have here the smoothing primer and the mattifying primer. The mattifying primer, surprisingly, it's not something I loved, just because I didn't feel like it was super mattifying, but it is good. But out of all of their primers, like they have the step 1 primers and they have one for literally any purpose that you may need it for. But out of all of them, I didn't really enjoy this one a lot, but it is good. So I used, I think, most of it at this point. And then the smoothing primer was really good. I also had at one point the hydrating one, I think. That one was so good. So I love these. They're amazing. So if you are looking for a primer and you have like a specific issue that you want to target, look into these because they have a ton and they are amazing. And then this one also for pores by Benefit. This is the Professional. Again, really good. This one is actually pretty new. I only started using it a few weeks, maybe months ago, and I do like it. I have never used it before and I do enjoy it, so keeping this one too. This primer right here, love this more than anything else I own. I will say that right now, 100%. I love this. We got this in a BoxyCharm and it's just like a travel size, and I still have some of it. But when I run out of this, I am 100% buying this because it is my favorite primer that I have ever used. So I mentioned how I don't like the silicone type of feel primers. I like this one, and I think all the ones that I like are because of the same thing. And it's because once you're applying it, it just feels like a lotion, but once it sets on your face, it feels kind of sticky. Not in a bad way sticky, because I've had those primers that feel sticky in a way that once you put makeup on top of it, it starts like kind of coming off and you start getting like little beads on your face because everything is just like being removed. I hate those. Clearly nobody likes that, but this is the type of primer that once you're applying it, it feels really cool and fresh and just like a lotion. But once you're done, like, you know, rubbing your face with it, it just feels kind of sticky, and it makes the makeup just stay in place and look amazing through the day. And that is what I look for and what I enjoy in a primer, and this one does exactly that. And because of that, it is my favorite primer literally ever. It is so good, I cannot even. So for sure keeping this and repurchasing. Then I have here this primer from Cover FX. This is a mattifying primer. Not much to say. It is mattifying. It feels good. It makes your makeup stay in place. So I'm keeping this one. Then we have here this one from Pop Beauty. This is the Face Magnet Primer. This one is one of those that feels sticky to the face, but even though I do like it, this one feels like glue, and it can do that if you're not careful. It can do that thing where once you put makeup on top of it, it kind of can come off. You have to be really careful what you use this with. I've noticed that it does not work with every foundation. It has happened to me where once I apply makeup on top, it's kind of coming off. And it also has happened that it makes my makeup last all day. So I will be keeping it, but it is a tricky product, so you have to be really careful with it. Then I have here this primer from Anna Sui, and this is a smoothing or a pore primer. Yeah, pore smoothing primer. This, first of all, it smells really good, very floral, and this is really good for smoothing and for pores. It's amazing. I don't hear too many people talking about this, but it is really good. I've had it for a while now. It kind of feels a little silicone-y, but not as bad as those other ones, and it fills your pores in really well. and it just doesn't feel oily. It feels silicone but not like oily and greasy, which is why I do like it and I have kept it. So this is a good one. Then I have here this one from L'Oreal. This is the Revitalift Miracle Blur Primer, and I don't really like this. This was actually so hyped up about for a few months, years, like a long time ago, and I got this in a influencer box, I believe, and I just didn't really enjoy it that much. Yeah, I just don't have a lot to say. I just wasn't that impressed, so I'm going to be passing this one along. It's almost new, to be honest. It looks like squished because it's hard to come out of the tube. Like, you have to press it really, really hard. That's why it looks like pressed, but I haven't really used it that much, so I'll be giving it away. Then I have here this one from Dr. Brand. This is the Luminizer Primer, and again, I really, really enjoy this one too. I also don't have any other like Luminizer primers or like glowy or hydrating primers at the moment. So because of that, actually the Becca one is kind of like this, but I'm running out of that one, and I do really enjoy this. I got this one recently in a boxy charm and I really like it. Then I have this one here from Julep. This is the Blank Canvas Mattifying Face Primer, and I am actually almost out of this. I do enjoy this. I actually keep this in my freelance makeup bag. It is a very simple primer that works with everyone, works with every skin type. It just works with everyone, so that's why I keep it in my freelance bag, but I am almost out of it, so I think I'm disposing of it at this moment because it's almost gone. And then we have this Nivea Men Sensitive Pulse Shea Balm Primer. If you guys don't know, years and years ago, YouTube people had the very bright idea of it using this as a primer, and everybody fell into it because it's so affordable and it does work. I have to say, I used this for a while. It does work. I don't use it anymore, so I may like, I don't know, is this even still good? It does work. I used it for a while. I haven't used it in a long time, and I think after that like hype, there was something being said about it not being really good for the skin, because you're not really supposed to use this every day, you know, especially like under your makeup. So I'm going to look into it a little bit more and then decide what to do with it. Maybe I should just throw it out, but yeah, I'll look into this. Last primer I have in here is also by Estee Edit, and this is the Pore Vanishing Stick, and this is really, really good for covering and hiding the pores. Such a good product. I just don't use it on camera because like I can't really tell you guys to go get it because it's no longer available. Like, the entire brand is just gone. So it is good, and I will continue to use it because it is good, but I just don't use it on camera, you know. And then lastly, we have my setting sprays right here, and I'm running out of battery in my camera, so I'm going to try to get through this really, really, really fast. So I really like this. Really like this when you have like cakey feeling makeup, or it's feeling or looking a little too powdery. You just spray this right on top of it and it just looks amazing. It makes the makeup, it just melts into your skin, and it just looks that much more natural when you have like a ton of makeup on. So you can see it's almost gone. I just love this so much. This one, it is exactly the same as the Urban Decay that everybody loves, and also if you know about that, the Urban Decay is the same thing as the Scandinavia one, and so this is the same thing as both of those. Like, it's literally the exact same thing. I'm almost out of it because I use it so much. It's actually what I use like on a regular basis, so it's almost gone because of that. But don't waste your money on the Urban Decay. Don't waste your money on the Scandinavia. Just get this one. It's literally the same thing. So really, really, really good. I'm not saying it's by the same makers or anything. It just feels and acts and performs the same way. And then we have these four right here, and I'm really, really bad with setting sprays because, like I just showed you, I use this all the time, and because of that I haven't really like tested these that much. I know that I used this one and I wasn't impressed by it, so I may give this one away, but this one and this one I just haven't really used, and this one I just haven't used at all, like not even one time. These I've just used like once or twice, so I don't have an opinion on it. This I've never used, so I have to try it. So that means I'm keeping these three and then possibly just getting rid of this one. I think I may use it like once more just to like have a definite opinion on it, but I do remember just like not being impressed, especially by the spray. It's like, see how harsh that is? Like, that's just going to mess up your makeup, you know what I mean? I think that's why I didn't like this one. but these I just have to like give them a chance. And that's basically my entire declutter. Okay, so here is the result of my declutter. So for categories, we have eye primers. I am keeping 3 of them. I am throwing out 0 eye primers, and then I'm giving away 5 eye primers. So the total is me keeping 3 versus 5 being gone from the collection. So that's way more that I'm getting rid of than what I'm keeping. Then for face primers, we have 9 that I am keeping between full size and samples. We have 9 that I'm keeping, throwing out again between full size and samples. I am throwing out 8 of them, and then giving away, I'm giving away 2 of them. So that is 9 that I'm keeping versus 10 that are gone. So again, more that I'm getting rid of than what I'm keeping. And then lastly, for setting sprays, we have 5 that I am keeping, 0 that I'm throwing out, and then 1 that I'm giving away. So that is 5 that I'm keeping versus 1 that's going away from the collection, which is the only category that I'm keeping more than what is going away. So all in all, we have 17 products on this side that I'm keeping, and then 15 on this side that I'm giving away, which is 50% of my primer and setting spray collection that I'm getting rid of. Half of it. That is pretty good if I do say so myself. I'm very, very proud of everything that I'm giving away or throwing out, or just decluttering in general, and then I'm very happy with what I'm keeping. I do know now that I really have to start using my setting sprays so that I can form an opinion on the rest of them, because I really do only use 2 of them, and then 3 I really have to get more into. So that is it for my eye primer, face primer, and setting spray declutter video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are enjoying this series, please give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? And also turn on that little bell so you get notified when I upload, because YouTube won't tell you. They have something against all of us, and they just won't tell you unless you turn on the notifications. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a happy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever you're watching this. And again, thank you for watching. Bye.